Good evening and welcome to the annual North Penn Elementary Wind Ensemble concert. My name is Chris Thompson. I believe this is Wind Ensemble number 11 for us, Mr. Mark Pohl. We've been doing this, wow. I was just married. We had no kids. Mr. Mark Pohl and I are married, but sometimes it seems like it. No kids. Life was so simple back in the day. Most of the people up here probably weren't born yet. But here we are, and it's so great that we've been doing this for 11 years. And we've had some pretty great experiences with this group and with all the groups. We've played at two state conferences. We did a world premiere for a new work by a composer by the name of Stephen Melillo. So this ensemble has done some pretty amazing things, and you're going to hear some really great, amazing things tonight. Just a couple housekeeping rules. Please make sure that your cell phone is silent because we are recording tonight. Mr. Peters is recording for our CD, and we have the awesome folks from NPTV here, so they are recording it as well, so we don't want any of those ringers going off. All right, you don't want to hear me, you want to hear them. So we are going to perform the Star Spangled Banner, and since they play so well, that means you must sing so well, so we'd love to hear some great singing. So if you would kindly rise, folks, we will perform the national anthem. like many of you have favorite authors or favorite directors of movies, Mr. Mark Pohl and I, of course, have favorite composers, and you can tell just by looking down the program that Brian Balmages and oh my gosh, his name just completely escaped me. Robert Sheldon are two of our favorite composers. And just a quick note about, we had a very unique experience with Robert Sheldon years ago when we played at the State Music Conference in Hershey. He was actually in the audience as our group performed, and thank goodness we didn't know that beforehand, because Mr. Mark Pohl and I might have slightly freaked out. You know, and the composer's in the audience, it's like, whoa. He came up and he said, wow, that was the best I've ever heard my music performed by a band so young. Normally I hear middle schools play that, so that was a very special moment for us, and a very huge accolade for this group, so that was really cool. And even before that, we really liked Robert Sheldon. So this next piece by Brian Balmages is really neat. It's called Haunted Clocks, and you're gonna, the challenge presented in this piece is, it opens up with a clock shop idea, and we harp on the kids to like play in time and get everything lined up and everything, but the beginning is supposed to be slightly out of time, and that sort of like throws a monkey wrench in things when they are not quite sure what to listen to, so it kind of creates this little chaotic clock shop thing going on. You're going to hear some really neat special effects done by the flutes, and then you're going to hear the clock kind of get evil, you know, those clock chimes, boom, 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 boom. You'll kind of hear that theme go throughout the piece. So this is a fun one, and we really enjoy it. So here is Haunted Clocks.
could be called fans of Robert Sheldon. The next selection, Snow Globe, we thought would be a nice way to perhaps usher winter out. So we hope you enjoy. So much. Mr. Thompson generally handles buckets and buckets full of thank yous that we owe you for all the support you give us in getting to work, most importantly with them, which is special beyond measure. Every year at this time, most years, I take advantage of the opportunity where I stand between you and your children and hold you captive as an audience and share with you a couple thoughts about your child's education. Forgive me though, any hope for eloquence has been diminished over the course of the week with fatigue. That said, I think there are two things that are critical for your children as I watch them almost halfway through a teaching career. Number one, as you know, our kids are over-tested. They are tested too often, too much emphasis is placed upon their tests, and whether we like to admit it or not, their educational program has been modified, not to meet their needs, but to meet the demands of tests. And that is unfair to them. That was not done to us as children, and we've turned out rather well. I know some of you, and I know what you do. You're remarkably successful, and somehow you did it without standardized tests, or without this many of them. And this must change. We must change this for them, because the next thing to be crowded out of their education is this. And that brings me to the second thing I wanted to just offer, as one person's opinion for sure. I was telling my wife I want to write a book called Overbooked America. and I told her I'd make it short because I think most people don't have the time to read it. We're all so busy. And I remember as a student coming to school, at elementary school, your child's age, and when the bell rang and the doors opened, I would go into my classroom and play chess with my friend. And to them, that is such a foreign idea because they walk into a room and there is a list of things they need to do, or a sheet of stuff they need to fill out, or directions on a PowerPoint somewhere. And what I am concerned about, and have said in school for the longest time, is our children don't have enough unstructured time. Within boundaries, of course, obviously not just go figure it out, but they need some time to develop their own thoughts, to reconcile their own ideas. Ideas, by the way, which maybe no one ever in the history of humanity has yet had. They need to be able to figure themselves out without the burden of someone else's instructions. And my concern is that now this completely structured way of life that we have in school is permeating their after-school life, where they leave school and then just engage in a system of structured activities outside of school. And this is not in any way to impugn the merits of those structured activities. Again, some of them told me what they're doing, and it's been phenomenal. But I think as a parent, and as parents, and as a teacher, I think we need to be on guard for the potential that they have ideas that are greater than the instructions that all of these different activities contain. And the thing I'm most concerned about that they miss when they leave school and they run and run and run from this place to that place to the playoff basketball game that begins at 8:45 at night on a school night, they're missing the opportunity to see the most important thing they're ever going to see in their lives, and it's you. They're missing the chance to see you be what you have become, to see you be successful people in your respective fields, and to be, as hard as it is, successful parents in teaching them the way to go forward. They need the opportunity to be more than just bystanders to your success and your capability. They need the opportunity to engage with you and learn every last drop of what they're capable of learning from you, because you are capable of teaching them far more than I or any other person in any classroom, because you're with them all the time. And so if I could be on guard for anything, for all of us, myself too as a parent, is to guard their opportunity to learn everything they can from us, not as teachers, as adults, and as the most special people they're going to have in their lives. So with that, I want to thank you for giving them the opportunity to do this, to develop their identity through music, to search within themselves, to create sound and beauty, and more fully know who they are as they go on to become who they're going to become. That is so special, and I'm so privileged, on behalf of Mr. Thompson, we are so privileged to get a chance to work with this and to be part of what you've set forth for your kids. And I just urge you to guard it going forward. Thank you so much.
Mr. Markpole and I would like to see how long Mrs. Platt can stand there with those. So we would like to thank, first of all, our awesome students. And for those of you that were peeking in last night at dress rehearsal, it was a little scary, but they are here now, and they have certainly earned the right to be called the North Penn Elementary Wind Ensemble this evening, and I will sleep much better. So thank you, children, okay? You have transformed and have done a great job. A big shout out to all of our parents who are juggling a lot of things, and I'm sure I did not get to hear all of Mr. Markpole's sermon. However, I do know that we have a lot of kids here that do a lot of things, and I was grateful that they were able to do that. I want to thank NPTV for being here to record this evening. Mr. Peters is making a CD for all of you. We'll have that for you soon. And Mrs. Bursick for behind-the-scenes stuff, organizing all the food back there, which they can't wait to eat. Ravenous children. And now, Mrs. Platt. A word for Mrs. Platt.
As parents, we love and appreciate everything that you and Mr. Markpole do. You've done an amazing job, and this is just a small token of our very, very large appreciation of both of you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed the in-service. Never get these right. And I'm sorry, you just listened to me talk, and I've already been gratuitously long with the mic. But I had a great conductor as a student named Joseph Primavera in the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra, and he would say after a concert, he would take the baton and he would go like this. And he would say to everyone, "Do you hear anything?" And we would all sing him, and he goes, "You do this." And we feel the same way about them. They do this. We just have the privilege of being in front of it with all of your support, and we're happy to do it. And thank you so much. This is so unnecessary, but we're very, very grateful, and I'm curious for sure. But thank you so much. Thank you for them. That's the best thing. Thank you so much.